Hey there tacos, welcome back to the virtual mode platform as we are here for another midweek devotion. Today we're going to get back into a Bible verse and share some great messaging for you for the rest of your week so that you may center yourself. And today's message is going to talk about kind of how we can treat one another and think more slowly. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So here we go. Alright friends, so before we get into any of the reading or any of the discussion that we're going to have for today, I have a question for you. And it is in regards to last time you commented on something. So think back to the last time, or maybe the last few times that maybe you were on social media and you commented on someone's post. Or maybe think down to the last time that you were with someone and you commented about what they were doing or what they were wearing. And so now that you've taken the time to kind of think through that comment that you last did, that you last posted, I want you to think about the intentions behind your post, or the intentions behind your comment. Were they intentions with good meaning, or were they intentions to harm someone? And so while you think about what that comment was and what the intentions were behind it, let's get into our Bible verse for today and then kind of discuss what this might mean. So the Bible verse for today comes from Proverbs chapter 15, verse 28, and it is as follows. The heart of the righteous studies how to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours forth evil. And then we have another quote to kind of go along with it, and it is, talk slow, talk low, and don't say too much. So in addition to that reading and that little phrase that we have here, where, we're talking about something pretty deep, thinking about how to answer questions and that if you don't think about it, you're pouring forth evil. There's a lot to unpack in that one statement. So I have a little passage to read too about someone and their interaction with their grandfather, and then we'll kind of talk through what this is all meaning and how it relates back to the question about your last comment. So here's the story. As a child, I always wondered why my grandpa was so slow at talking. It seemed that by the time he answered my first question, I had 5 more ready. For a frequently impatient 8-year-old, it was almost too hard to bear. So one day I asked him, Grandpa, why is it that you talk so slow? It wasn't until I read Proverbs chapter 15, verse 28 years later that his answer made much sense. He said to me, I speak slowly because I do not want my mouth to run laps around my brain. I'd rather my brain finish first. A problem never went unsolved, or a dispute unresolved, because of an answer delivered too slowly. Let us study how to answer before we speak, so that our replies may be godly and wise. So that kind of helps us understand where we're coming from when I'm asking you about comments and this passage that we have from Proverbs where it says, the heart of the righteous studies how to answer. Someone who takes their time to think what they're going to say is doing something more godly. But the mouth of the wicked pours forth evil. If you start ripping off things and just saying things, it's bound to upset people. That's kind of what I feel like this is saying. So this passage is talking about how this grandson and his grandpa, and Grandpa, why do you talk so slow? The grandpa talks so slow that he makes sure that he is understood before he speaks it. So I think back to that question that I asked you about when was the last time you commented? We live in a world that is so easy to comment back. It's so readily available for us to make these comments. On social media, on blog posts, just in general, we can hide behind a computer and do so much damage and we don't even know that we've done it. So when I ask you what your last comment was and what it means, I hope that when you are commenting on these things and commenting towards people's things, that you're doing it with goodwill and with good intentions and with godly intentions. And then I hope that when you are interacting with people on the internet or interacting with people gaming or something like that or on social media, that you're taking the time to think through your thoughts. As this grandpa said, he's taking the time to make sure that his mouth isn't running laps around in his brain and that his brain gets a chance to finish. Because whether we like it or not, the saying is true. Words carry a lot of meaning and words can hurt very deeply for some people. So in order to become more loving and understanding of one another, I think it's very important that we choose our words carefully and that we choose our words wisely. And that we understand that we should be doing this out of goodwill rather than to tear people down. Because it's so easy and so quick to just tear someone down. It happens like that. And I think it's good to take time to understand how that can seriously affect people. One little action can cause a whole lot of difference in someone's life. So, with this final prayer that we're going to have for this devotion, I hope that you take into account this verse from Proverbs that we're talking about how the righteous studies how to answer when the wicked mouth pours out evil, So I want you to kind of understand that words do matter and we should be thinking about our thoughts before we go and tear someone down. So please pray with me this prayer. Dear God, pace me. Let me not move in front of your wisdom, and let my language reflect study and care. Amen. So today, friends, go forth spreading good things in the world and spreading good news in the world. Understand that your comments do matter and that it should be something that you think through before just saying something. Think about, is this out of love? Is this out of grace? Is this something that is going to be productive? So with that, I hope that you were able to kind of center yourself for the rest of the week and that you take this message with you for the days to come, the weeks to come, the months to come, and the years to come to kind of grow and be a better person and lead in your faith. So with that, I will leave you for this day. I will see you back on Friday as we have more questions and awesome discussion for our Talk About It Friday. So until then, friends, if you have any questions that you'd like to share, send them my way and I'd be glad to include them in our video somehow. But that is when we will see you next. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday and have a great rest of your week. See you later.